Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony.
Here they be, how's about a welcome, a peaceful sort of welcome for the gang.
All right, folks, gather round. Let's give a real Deadwood City welcome to the gang. Not Kit Carson, not Buffalo Bill, not Davy Crockett. I mean that one-woman gang from the tall country who told the tallest tales from Kalamazoo to California.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just seen a 1953 film called Calamity Jane. I want to introduce you to today's first guest. He's a fellow colleague of mine at Santa Monica College. He specializes in film studies. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor PhD Josh Kanin. Josh, welcome to The Actor's Choice.
Thank you so much. Wonderful to be here.
Please tell us where you were born at.
I was born in Los Angeles. I'm a native of LA.
Wow, right down the street from Hollywood, huh?
Right.
Okay. Before we get started, here's something I'd like to ask of you, and that is, please define film studies.
Well, film studies is an academic discipline that deals with various theoretical and historical approaches to the cinema, both as an art form and as an entertainment medium. And classes that we teach in film studies offer students kind of like a forum to explore the narrative aspects of cinema, the artistic aspects, the cultural aspects of film. So it's a multifaceted discipline.
Okay. What was it like for you growing up in an intimate family of motion picture professionals?
Well, you know, my parents were a screenwriting and playwriting team.
Okay.
A husband and wife writing team. And as a kid, I would hear them bouncing ideas back and forth in the room where they were working on their script, sometimes very heatedly. You know, as a child, it was sometimes hard to distinguish whether their arguments that they were having were because of disagreements about the writing of the movie or the play, or whether these arguments were coming from problems they were having in their marriage. I didn't really know, but what I remember most fondly were the days when they would take me onto the movie sets of the films that they were making, that were in production. And I got to meet the director of the film and the main actors in the film. And when they were doing plays on Broadway, I would be taken backstage during rehearsals to meet the actors and all that were involved in the plays. And they involved me in a lot of their work when I was a kid. It was thrilling. It really was thrilling.
Did you say their names were Michael and Faye Kanin?
Right. Michael and Faye Kanin.
There's a good picture of them right there. Good looking picture. Did you work in the industry, the film industry yourself?
I did. I was an assistant film editor and member of the Motion Picture Editors Guild. And I had the opportunity to work with some of the industry's top film editors. This was a real honor and a privilege for me because the work was hard. It was long hours in the cutting rooms, as we used to call them then. And as I worked with these veteran film editors, I gradually learned the craft of editing, from them. And after 15 years of working as an assistant, I finally got to edit a film myself, but I only edited one feature film because by then it was the early 90s. Editing had gone electronic at that point, and it was no longer being done by cutting pieces of film together. So the whole experience of sitting at a computer all day long, I just didn't find it was a good one for me, and I decided to go back to my previous profession, which was teaching college. Yeah, and I got out of the industry at that.
Got you. You know when to get out. Josh, you're doing what you do. What is the advice for students that you give who want to become successful as professional
Well,
Filming.
my advice to them is to go to film school after graduating our film program at SMC. I tell my students that it's really important to continue getting training at the upper division level at a film school, maybe even go on to do graduate work. And I
Okay.
tell them that they can't learn how to be filmmakers just taking online classes or reading how-to books. You know, it
Okay.
takes a lot of years of making short films, one after another. And one thing I think, Ron, will interest you is that I tell my students, never forget that the great director, the pioneer director, D.W. Griffith, had no film school to go to. And during a 5-year period from 1908 to 1914, he made more than 400 films for the Biograph Company. Can you believe that? The majority of which were 10 to 12-minute long films. And this was before he had made his first major feature-length films, Intolerance and Birth of a Nation. You know, he made 400 films. You imagine? That was his film school. So he realized you got to do it over and over again.
Yes, you do. What have you liked the most about teaching at SMC?
Well, I've been teaching in film studies. I've been teaching film studies in colleges for 50 years, and I've taught half that.
Did you say 50 years?
50, one half a century. But I've been teaching at SMC for half that time, and I've taught in all the major film departments in Southern California, most of them. What I like most about SMC is the incredible mixture of students from different countries, the multiculturalism of it. And I also love the fact that so many of the students in my classes have been so bright and curious and eager to learn about film. And I've had incredible discussions with them after they've seen films in my classes. Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention I'm the faculty advisor of our film club.
Yes.
And it meets once a week. And in it, the members of the club make short films, and they talk about film, and they make friendships and network with each other. And it's a wonderful opportunity for me to interact with film students outside of the classroom.
Okay.
And to
the film club,
motivate
right?
them to achieve their filmmaking goals. That's what I
Right.
try to do.
Okay. That was the film club that you mentioned?
Right, the film club
Okay.
at SMC. Yeah,
Okay.
we have a wonderful film club there.
Mm-hmm. During a typical class, sir, tell us what goes on in a film studies class. What do you learn?
Well, look, I can only speak for myself and my own classes, but what I do normally is give a lecture at the beginning. Then I show a film that's keyed to the lecture. And after that, I discuss the film with the students. And, you know, we offer a wide variety of classes at SMC in film studies. We teach a film appreciation class, which is kind of a beginning class. And then we teach a course on movie genres, and we teach about great filmmakers. And there are also classes that deal with literature into film and about the cultural, political aspects of movies. I mean, we have classes that just cover the entire gamut of film study that are offered for general education students, and not just for students that are majoring in film.
Wow. One of the devices that we have at Santa Monica College is we got this little thing called a website, smc.edu. So we just want to let people know that we both work it all the time. Please go to smc.edu. You'll get all the information of all the classes that you need to know. We have counselors, we have people out there who can help you. Josh, you've been at SMC how many years now?
Oh, I've been there 25 years now.
Okay, I've been there 23. So we've been together. We've seen exactly what goes on at it, and we definitely cordially invite the students as we say, come on down.
Right.
How many classes in film studies do you conduct? Do you yourself?
I teach 4 classes every semester, and each of these classes is taught over a 4-hour-long period. So I have 4 hours to teach each week, each class, one day each week. And it's luxurious to have that amount of time, because I can do a good lecture, show a 2-hour-long film, and then have at least an hour for discussion after the film. So I'm thrilled with that, really.
Wow. Folks ask this question all the time. Got any internships for us?
Yes. Santa Monica College's Career Services Center has an internship program that's available to students. And what students can do, they can look for internships through the college's database. And in order to get one, they have to go through a registration process. But once they register, they're able to view hundreds of internship listings. Also, our film production faculty helps students to find internships that offer them real life experience working around filmmaking professionals. And these are sometimes available in the summer months when students take time off from their studies. And so I would really like to refer students interested in movie production internships, to talk to our production faculty, who really are the most knowledgeable about these opportunities.
Got you. People have forever been out on campus, 1900 Pico Boulevard, large campus. So please tell us about your classes on SMC campus.
All of my classes are taught at the Center for Media and Design, which is one of SMC's satellite campuses. It's up on Stewart Street.
Yes.
And we have a big theater-like auditorium at the CMD. We call it the CMD, that I teach in. I teach my classes in this big auditorium. It has state-of-the-art movie screening capabilities. And when my students take my classes that are taught in this auditorium, they're able to see movies up on a giant screen with good sound, the way they were seen by audiences originally when they came out, rather than watching movies on a little small TV screen or on their little computer devices like laptops and notebooks, or even on their cell phones. I say to my students, the way you're seeing movies in this classroom is the way they were seen in 1930 or 40 or whatever the year was of the film.
I must say that the campus continues to grow and grow and grow, has it not?
Oh, it has, really, by leaps and bounds, yeah.
As I walk around, I go, wow. Ooh. I was in the LS building for 10 years, and they knocked it down. Now they're putting up a brand new building. Oh,
it's
my
not
baby.
there anymore.
Not there anymore. Wow.
I taught in there most of the years I was teaching.
Indeed. How does a student register for the classes, sir?
Well, students register for classes using a system called Corsair Connect. And what they have to do is first click on the college website, smc.edu, and then on Corsair Connect. When they go to Corsair Connect, the student will enter his or her student ID number and a new password that's given to them. And after that, the student clicks on enrollment, selects the semester, and then clicks on add a class. Once that's done, the student inputs a 4-digit class section number for each class that the student wants to register in. But what's most important, Ron, and I want to emphasize this, is that students enrolling in classes must pay their fees on time, because if they don't get those classes.
Right. And they need to understand that when you're paying fees, if you don't want to stick, if you want to get out of a class, get back in a timely manner, you get your money back. If you don't, you won't get your money back.
That's right.
I have to tell the students that verbally and in writing, please, after a certain time, if you haven't returned, if you haven't said I'm not in the class no more, we have no problem with that. That's okay. But just do the right thing, you get your money back. Indeed.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you encourage your students to go and see movies on a regular basis?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I do. During my class periods, I mention the names of movies that I recommend for them to see outside of class. Films that supplement those that they are seeing in my classes.
Yes.
Some of the movies that I recommend are available through streaming platforms. There are other films that I recommend to them which are playing currently in movie theaters, because I want them to keep up with movies that are current. I'm sure many of them do. But what I've found over the years is that the students that are truly committed to getting into the top film schools or becoming professional filmmakers, they don't have to be prodded to see movies outside of classes. You know, they study the great classic films. They learn from the great master film directors. They're always wanting to see films. They're living and breathing and eating film morning, noon, and night, you know. So those are the students really that are going to make it. You know, we got our eye on those students, you know, that have that kind of enthusiasm.
I'm told that films first came out in 1894. So films have been around for a long, long time here in America.
Sure have. Yeah. Can you believe how long it's been? My God. well
Yes.
over about what, 100 and almost 130 years.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Remember when there was a movie with no sound?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a film playing now in the theaters called Babylon, which is all about Brad Pitt stars in it. And it's a film about the early days of Hollywood in the 20s and 30s and the arrival of sound. And
Yes.
it's a very interesting film.
Wow. How can students get in touch with you, sir?
Well, my students can can send me an email whenever they have any questions or concerns, and I tell them that they can use or should use my faculty email address. I teach my classes now during the pandemic period. I've taught them on Canvas, so there's a way that they can message me on this Canvas website.
Yes.
But what I do is I list my contact information in my syllabus, all of my syllabi for my classes, which are distributed on the first day of my classes. So they know how to get a hold of me right away if they need to.
Good.
Or as often as they
Very
need.
much. Very good. Are you working on some interesting projects right now?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm working on a book that's dealing with the history of my own family in the movies. And on Broadway, because they worked on Broadway in New York and in Hollywood. All of the Kanins, Fay and Michael Kanin, my parents, and my uncle and aunt, Garson Kanin and Ruth Gordon. So the whole bio is going to be about the entire family, parents, uncle, and aunt. And what the book is going to do is tell the story of their lives and careers working in the movie industry and in the New York theater over a 50-year period.
Yes.
You know? And I'm not writing what we might call a tell-all book. I'm not doing that. But I'm rather what I'm writing is really an academic text that will give readers an idea about how movies were made and how they were made by the Kanins during the golden age of the studio system. So in a way, this book, I think, will be a great adjunct book to be used in maybe in just a film history class, to show how movies were made at that time.
How soon do you think you have that book out?
Well, I'm still working on it. It's taken a long time because I put so much time into my teaching that I just haven't had a lot of time to complete it. But I'm hoping this year to get it finished and try to get a publisher for it. I think there may be some possible takers for it. So
sounds like you're having a lot of fun.
Ahead. Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell us about the campus and what you're doing with your courses out there?
Well, for the last 3 years, I've been teaching online, and actually, during the period of the pandemic, I at first thought, I don't want to have to teach online where I never see real students in front of me. But I'm actually enjoying the online teaching because I find that a lot of students today, they actually feel more comfortable when they're not in front of a professor, when they're talking online, or we have a discussion forum in Canvas where they can text chat with each other. And I have wonderful discussions with them, believe it or not, Ron, in a text chatting form. And every single one of them speaks up and has wonderful things to say. But when they're texting each other, you see, it's hard to get them to do it in person. But so I'm actually loving the online teaching. And it may go on for a while longer if the pandemic persists, and hopefully not. But I can't wait to get back to the classroom. But I am enjoying the online teaching very much, as I'm sure you probably are.
Yes. My goodness, they got the right man for the right job. I can see that.
Well, yes. I love teaching there. It really is. It's a wonderful college, and
my goodness,
we have just an astounding film studies, film production program now. My colleague, Professor Salvador Carrasco, built up a production program, and it's really amazing. We almost have our own. We really have a film school of our own.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. College level,
Yes. Yeah. For those who are interested, I teach broadcasting, Media 13 and Media 1. So if anybody's ever interested, you hear me now, just get in touch with me and we'll get you in the class. Media 13 is a broadcasting class where you get a chance to really learn how to do what you're doing. So My friend, Professor Josh, thank you very, very much for being here today and sharing that information with us about film studies. And best wishes to you this upcoming spring semester at SMC. Okay.
And to you too.
Okay. We got a video we're gonna run out on.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, Tony, can you roll that video?
This
is Santa Monica graduation ceremony. I did it.
I'm from Italy.
Seattle.
Joshua Tree.
New Jersey. Went to high school in Culver City.
From Venice, California. Born and raised.
I'm from Malawi.
Brooklyn, New York.
Japan, Tokyo.
University High School up the street.
Sweden. Russia.
From a small town in Oaxaca, Mexico. I was brought to the U.S. at the age of 4. Coming in at SMC, I had very little thought of community colleges, but it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened in my life.
We've got amazing facilities, and the teachers here really guide you. The counselors here really guide.
All right, that's a beautiful sight to see the people graduating. Okay. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Professor Josh Kendricks.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much,
for
sir.
having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Okay. This is the Access Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to let you know that we are asking our squad to help us get former baseball player Curt Flood into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, Curt, who passed away January 20th, 1997, was the husband of one of our wonderful guest renowned actress, Judy Pace. So all you got to do is give a call to us at our office, 213-349-3941. That's 213-349-3941. We sincerely thank each and every one of you for being a part of this magnificent award for a great baseball player. Okay? Roll it, Tony.
You know Seth?
Doesn't everybody? People love him, especially the young ladies. All of them so hot for teacher.
Real mature. Goodbye.
But he's waiting for you right out in the hall, Kristen. Don't worry. He's not handsy anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is an actress, an artist, a published author / illustrator, and a produced screenwriter. It's a lot of work. She's a very busy lady who has a new super play called Homefront. It's coming out soon, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why she is here today to tell us about that project. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome Austin Highsmith Garces.
Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure to be your pleasure, madam. First of all, please tell us where do you come from? Where were you born?
I am from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. If you've ever had a Krispy Kreme donut, we invented those for you. You're welcome.
We call it North Kakalaki. I like the way you say that. I like the way you say that. What attracted you to being an actor?
I first started being curious about acting when I was about 7 years old. I watched Coal Miner's Daughter with my mom.
Yes.
And I was just so blown away by Sissy Spacek. And she was crying in one scene. And I asked my mom, was there somebody standing above her, dropping water on her face? Or was there a machine inside of her face that was making water come out? Like, how was she doing that? And my mom said, no, honey, she's having an emotion. And I thought, I want to have an emotion. So no joke, when I was 7 years old, before I would go to sleep at night, I taught myself how to cry. And that's kind of when I knew that I wanted to be an actor. But I never came out and said it. So my coming out was talking that I wanted to be an artist.
Yes.
And I did that my senior year of college. I finally admitted to my friend that I wanted to be an actress. And he said he wanted to be a screenwriter. So we agreed we would move to Los Angeles together after we graduated from UNC Chapel Hill. And that's what we did.
You said college. Which one did you go to again?
UNC Chapel Hill. I'm a Tar Heel. Sorry if we have any Duke fans that are listening.
Good school.
My apologies.
School. Have some friends.
It's a great school.
Indeed. And then you moved here to LA.
I did. Yes.
And your first impression?
Well, I did like I did do with everything. I did my research. My dad at that time worked for US Airways, so we flew for free. So I had flown out here several times by myself and driven around Los Angeles, and I got my Thomas guide. Our younger viewers have no clue what a Thomas guide is because they have GPS now. but it was this giant book of maps. Right. And I studied it and I learned Los Angeles and I figured out how to get around so that when I moved out here, I was already very familiar with it. And so I kind of already had a little bit of familiarity when I moved out here. I got a job 3 days after moving into town as a hostess on Sunset Boulevard. Very quickly, I found my artistic home at the Ruskin Group Theater and the Ruskin School of Acting. So I was very fortunate that it was not as overwhelming for me because I had already kind of done a little bit of legwork to familiarize myself with Los Angeles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please tell our audience more about the Ruskin School. That's located and where it's located.
Yes. The Ruskin School is a 2-year Meisner-based program. It was founded by John Ruskin, who was actually one of Sanford Meisner's apprentices at the Neighborhood Playhouse in New York. And it is located at the Santa Monica Airport in Los Angeles, in Santa Monica, California. And we are getting ready to expand. So we're in 2024, we'll be moving into a whole new space with a huge new theater, actually 2 new theaters, and the school attached. So we're very excited about the expansion.
Outstanding. Please get in touch with John and Tom. We'd like to have him back on the show. He was one of my earliest guests when we started this series. Please, we'd love to have him come back and talk about what he's been doing over these years.
I will.
Excuse me. I see that so far, excuse me, you have acquired 63 IMDb actors, film, and TV credits. Not bad, as they say in the industry. Not bad. Okay. The year was 2000.
I have been very fortunate.
I hear you. The year was 2005. You had a TV series called Night Stalker. You were on that. That was your first IMDb.
I was.
Yep. Okay. Moving on. 5 years later, 2001, you did a show called, what's that, Dolphin Tale? Oh, yes. One and two.
2010. Yes.
Yes.
I honestly thought there was no way that I was going to get that role because number one, I wanted it too badly. You know, you never get the ones that you really want, I feel. And also there were so many celebrities attached that I thought there was no possible way that because I had done some television stuff, but I had never done anything theatrical. Yes. And I just thought there was no way that I could possibly get it. But according to the director and the producers, I was the only actress who walked in who looked like she wouldn't die if she touched a dead fish to give it to the dolphin. I thought that I had bombed the audition because I went in with like a ratty tank top and little, Sophie board shorts and my hair up in a ponytail because I had done all this research on what dolphin trainers look like and what they wear. Yes. And I didn't have a wetsuit. So I did my best to sort of replicate what that would look like. And every other actress was in heels and a sundress. And I thought, oh no, I ruined it. But I nailed it. So I was fortunate enough to get paid to swim with dolphins every single day, twice.
Wow.
What?
And what was the name? What was your name on that film?
I played Phoebe the dolphin.
Phoebe. Yes. Yes, indeed. You had some well-known people. Morgan Freeman, Ashley Judd, Harry Connick Jr. You worked with some good people. Yes, indeed.
Yes. And Chris Christopherson and 2 young actors. They were very young at the time. They're not anymore. Okay. Nathan Gamble and Cozy Zulsdorf, who have become my closest friends. And it was honestly one of those magical dream experiences where out of 300 people on the crew and in the cast, there was not one dud. Everybody was lovely. And almost every single person came back for the second film because we just all loved each other so much. And as you know, in Hollywood, that is rare.
Yes, that is rare. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
You had another movie that you just completed called Once Was.
Yes, that's a short film that my friend wrote.
Yes.
My friend Vera Czerny, who is also just such a lovely actress. Yes. We met at the Risa Brahman Garcia Braun School of Acting. And she wrote this character or these characters as a scene for class and then decided to expand it. And we self-produced it. We fundraised and we shot it last December, and it just finished post. And I'm so excited and so proud of her.
Outstanding. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Home Front.
Yes.
There it is. Ooh, there it is.
We had 3 previews this weekend, and I am just still riding so high off of the audience's responses to the show.
Give us a synopsis of this play, please.
So Homefront is written by Tony Award-winning playwright Warren Leight,
Yes.
and it is about an interracial couple in New York City just after World War II. It begins on VJ Day in 1945, I believe.
Yep.
And it's all about what it was like if that famous picture of the couple kissing in Times Square on VJ Day?
World famous.
Warren thought, what if that had been an interracial couple? I wonder what their lives would have been like. So it's kind of following what that would have been if the fictional couple had been the African-American man, if he had been a member of what was called the Golden 13, which is a real thing, and a white woman, and what their lives possibly could have been like in, this thankfully it's kind of a post reality, but the racist union of two interracial people in that time. It was still very illegal in this country to be an interracial couple. Okay. So that's what the play follows.
Got you. For those that don't know, I was in the Navy for over 20 years, and the Golden 13 were actually African Americans. They were the first African American naval officers. This is in World War II. This is the first time they ever did it. They were 15 that went into a project. 13 came out. That's where they got the Golden 13.
Yep.
Tell Mr. The gentleman that you're working with, Mr. Light, Warren Light, tell him I said thank you very much.
I will.
That's when you bring this kind of stuff out that people need to see it, open up their minds and let them see some good stuff is in there, because you didn't know about it. Nobody ever told you.
I didn't know about it. Right. And another thing that Warren explores in this play through the third character is what it was like to be a gay man in the military as well. Yes. And in a time when being gay was also still very illegal. And so it's a three-hander, and none of our characters have much status. We don't have power. We're not victims, but we don't have power. And so I love sort of exploring that scenario where everybody is fighting for what they really want to happen, and the optimism of what could potentially happen versus the reality of what the world allows them.
As you know, the President of the United States signed legislation recently when it comes to gay people, and it's about time that things like this took place.
Yes, and interracial marriages.
Well overdue. Okay.
Yes.
What is? I got a couple of photos. Tony, can you show me photo number 1, please? Here's some of the cast members. Who are those cast members, please, man?
Well, that's me, and then my castmate CJ Lindsay, who plays James Aurelius Walker, who is the member of the Golden 13. CJ is a fabulous actor. He's from New Jersey, but he grew up doing theater in New York. He went to Purchase and has a theater degree from Purchase. And he is married to the most beautiful actress ever, who is a series regular on SWAT.
Right.
And CJ is just an absolute dream to be on stage with. He's so present. He's so available. It's amazing. Okay.
Next film, please.
Yes. And so then this is Jonathan Slavin. He plays Edward in the movie. In the play. And Jonathan actually was my acting coach for years. And so when we were trying to find our Edward, I said, I know them. I've got the guy. It's Jonathan. And oh my gosh, he is just delightful in this role.
Okay. My final question, madam, what is it about this play that excites you?
Oh, well, I'm in an interracial marriage. So when I saw Warren tweet about this play in 2018, I sent him a DM and I said, I would love to read this play if you would allow me. And when I read it, I just knew I had to be a part of it. I had to help see it come to the stage. And so I've been working for the past 5 years to find a theater home for it. And Maria Gobetti from The Victory emailed me a couple years ago and said, I really want to do a play about an interracial couple. Do you have anything? And I said, I do. And so it's just been such an important message for me because, up until, like you said, up until a couple of weeks ago, it was still not written into law that interracial marriage was protected. Even though loving happened in, 50 years ago or something, Loving versus Virginia, which is the Supreme Court case that allowed interracial marriage to happen. It still was not protected by law. And I'm in an interracial marriage. So this was so important for me to be a part of telling this love story.
Yes. Homefront. It's located at Victory Theater Center.
Yes. And we open on Friday.
Open on Friday, this coming Friday.
Yes.
Right. The theater's at 3324 West Victory Boulevard in Burbank.
Yes, sir.
Ticket information.
Victory. Yeah, you go. You go.
Okay. 818-841-5421. That's 818-841-5421. Or you can go to www.thevictorytheatercenter.org. That's www.thevictorytheatercenter.org. Okay? Folks, go out. I recommend this one. Go see it. Guys, go see it, please. Come back and tell us what you thought about it. And let us know, especially that lady, Austin Highsmith Garces. Make sure that she's out there. Austin, thank you very, very much. You did it again.
Thank you,
Marvelous
Ron.
work here is. My goodness, best wishes to you and the rest of the cast on the West Coast premiere. And please give your favorite publicist, my good buddy, Lucy Pollock, for making it possible for both you and the gentleman who's standing by right now to come on board. She's a busy lady. Take good care of yourself.
Thank you so much, Ron, and wonderful talking to you.
My pleasure, ma'am. Take care.
Take care.
This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, for more information about the Attack Row Crow channel, please call us at 213-349-3941. That's 213-349-3941. Okay? Okay. Roll it, Tony.
I'm going to have to reject it. Why? I think you should either talk to your grandfather or acquaint yourself with the ingredients of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I am a nice guy.
He was voted most congenial in his cell block.
Sorry, Doc. I'm afraid you owe your old man $5.
Yeah, I'm afraid I do.
Oh. We'll probably use this.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today, get ready, has been active in the Los Angeles theater community for over 40 years. I'll repeat that again. Over 40 years. You don't know too many people that do that. As an actor, a director, a writer, and a producer. Sir, what do you say about getting on stage? They always say, break a leg.
Yeah, break a leg. That's
I love when they say that. Ladies and gentlemen, please break a leg for Tony Abatemarco.
Hey, Ron, great to see you. Thank you so much.
Great to be seen by you, sir. Great, and welcome to the Actor's Choice. Yeah, when you think about it, over 40 years, my God, that's a lot of makeup, clothing, auditions, being turned down, meetings, and working with other. It just goes on and on and on.
It sure does.
You survived it.
I did, gratefully, and hopefully it's still going on. I'm producing and I'm acting, and I still got a drawer full of makeup, so in case I need it, I'm ready to go.
Yay, yay. Tell me before we get, where were you born?
I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
Where was that, sir?
I said Brooklyn, New York.
You said Brooklyn. I say Manhattan because that's where I was born at.
You were more upscale than I was.
Yeah, that's a matter of opinion. That's a matter of opinion. But we were in those 5 boroughs. A lot of people don't realize 5 boroughs make up the city. But we love New York City. Once in New York City, either you live there and you want to stay or you want to go back. You know, I don't have to tell you about it.
I still consider myself a New Yorker, although being here 45 years now, I guess I'm a Los Angelino, but yes. I still consider myself a New Yorker on some level.
Always. And when sometimes I have to, they say, you talk too fast. I say, you need to think faster. You thinking slow.
First couple of jobs I did here, people would say to me, you're from New York, aren't you? And I'd say, I went to Juilliard. How did you know?
Doid. That's how we did it.
Yep.
What attracted you, sir, to acting?
Well, interesting story. I was 14 years old and on the cusp of juvenile delinquency out on Long Island. And, just running with the wrong crowds. And a friend of mine said to me one day, hey, they're doing auditions for our town. And this was in junior high school, mind you. They're doing auditions for our town. You want to come with me and do it? And I said, no, are you kidding? I don't want to do that. And he said, come on, let's do it. It might be fun. So we did it just sort of, on a lark. And within 1 week, I said to my family, this is what I want to do the rest of my life. I was 14. Truth be told, my dad was a great storyteller, so I always sat at the feet of the master and listened to him tell stories, and that got me going. So, yeah, it's always been in me. I was not an only child, but I was the last of three, and they were much older than me.
Yes,
parents were middle-aged by the time I came along, and so I was a little toy that they would put on the table and have me entertain when I was 3 and 4 years old. So I would tell stories and I would dance, and they'd all get a big hoot out of it, and they have no one to blame but themselves for this.
Okay. I'm going to run through this real quick. Your first IMDb TV actor credit, you got that for One Day at a Time as a TV series. You did that one.
Yep.
Then you also did another one right behind that a little bit, which is the latest one that you've done. You got it under post-production. We call it The Ark.
Yeah. Wow.
That one. Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. That one was a project that a post-production company did, and I was very glad that they hired me to do it. And actually I played the famous architect Richard Neutra in it.
Okay.
So that was really a fun project.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was doing some research and I fell upon a video that I just have to play it. Ladies and gentlemen, it tells you and shows you the quality of that band sitting right there. It's a video for an audition number 2, Relativity.
Wow.
Roll it, Tony.
Einstein, scene 2. Did you ever think that it's the great artist's job to concentrate on his work above anything and everyone?
What do you mean?
Would your mother have died without your father staying with her?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I think you do. She had the same doctor, she had you for support. Would she have survived if your father wasn't always a...
Wow. And that's just an audition, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised you found that. That's amazing.
We call it STD, something to do.
I hope you send that to me. I could use
Yes, definitely. You get the whole thing. Plus, you get some IMDb credits. We came here today to talk about thresholds of invention.
Yep.
This poster, when you see the poster, it cracks me up because when I saw it, I said, "That's the poster." Oh, look at Monkey. Monkey see Monkey do. That's mine. That's cute. Sir,
that was a gift that was given to me. And last summer, I did a cabaret show at the Odyssey Theater, and it was just planned for one performance, but we were selling out, so we wound up doing 3. And just recently, I won an award for it as the best comedy cabaret of the year. So that was really fun. But when I finished doing that, Beth Hogan at the Odyssey Theater said to me, Tony, we consider you family. Why don't you come up with something, curate like a series or something that you would like to see happen here? And we put our heads together and we came up with this idea of a pop-up series that I would produce and curate that was all about prominent local artists who've been making theater for a long time and seeing what they've got on the drawing board. So it's a works in progress kind of series. And I worked really hard on finding the right name for it. And then Thresholds of Invention really made sense as a first glimpse at works that are being put together for future full production. So this month, we're actually doing, the first one is this coming weekend, the 14th and the 15th at the Odyssey Theater. And it's called I Don't Know, I Know. It's sort of a Samuel Beckett kind of piece with a lot of mayhem and movement and mask work. And my friend Jan Monroe and I are performing it. And Kyle Secor, who many of you probably know from his show Homicide, is actually our director. So we're doing that for 2 performances only, and we're going to have a conversation with the audience after we present our 45 minutes of mayhem.
Okay. Can you show number 48, Tony? The other Tony. There's another Tony. Oh, there you go. There you go. Thank you, sir.
That's one of our rehearsal shots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's Jan Monroe behind me.
Okay. And the next one? Oh, there you go. Walking that walk.
Yeah.
Walking that walk. Oh, my goodness.
That's where we began. We actually started working on this about 1.5 years ago.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah.
I was reading the synopsis, and I want to share it with you, sir. Is a mashup of movement, memoir, and mayhem.
That's right.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Both of us have been working here in Los Angeles for over 40 years, as you mentioned, and working together quite often. So we just got this idea when we were deep in the pandemic and isolated from doing anything. We said, hey, I'm feeling good. You're feeling good. Why don't we get together and start to invent something new? So we started doing that. And as a Brooklyn boy, I rarely sit still except to go to sleep at night, which fortunately I do pretty well. But I'm always inventing. So we started playing around and coming up with something that included some of our personal journey through performance in Los Angeles all these years. And that's what this story is.
For your second section, they're calling it Bring the Old Pageants. Uncle Walt Explains It All.
Yeah. And Daryl Larson is the mastermind of that. He's been creating theater here for a long time and working at the Odyssey as well. But he and I have rubbed shoulders and worked together for all these years. And he pitched this idea to me, which was basically about taking Walt Whitman's poetry and presenting it in a new light. So that's a terrific ensemble of actors, men and women who are going to be reciting Walt Whitman's work. And there's going to be music by Mitch Greenhill behind it. Some of it will be sung. And so that'll be the second piece, and that's on the 28th of January at the Odyssey also.
Okay. Tony, can you show 48B? This is there. That's all the cast.
That's the group.
That's the group, yes. God, there was 2, 4, 6, 8, about 12 people there.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're terrific. I mean, every one of them. We had a rehearsal just this past Saturday.
Yes.
And it was pretty awe-inspiring to hear everybody doing those beautiful words of Walt Whitman. I mean, long time since I've really heard those recited, and wow, it tells a story in and of itself. It's great.
Now, you're at the Odyssey Theater, I'm told?
Yep, on Sepulveda in West LA.
What stage?
We're in stage 2, theater 2. And that was the one that was available. And this is a pop-up series. So the next show or showings may not be until April, when that space is free and clear again. And we will move in with some more work that we'll be asking artists to present for the first time.
Yes. Odyssey, 310-477-2055, extension 2, or www.odysseytheater.com.
You got it.
Let's see. I have to ask this question.
Yeah.
What excites you the most about this series?
Good, really good question. I've been a co-artistic director for the past 12 years at the Skylight Theater. And just recently I stepped aside to make room for succession of younger and also more BIPOC people. So giving a chance to other people, basically helping other people midwife their work, has been a practice of mine for a long time. And once I stepped aside, I realized, okay, I can concentrate on my own work exclusively and just, do the usual rat race stuff, trying to get work, but also inventing my own work. I write, I produce, I act, I do all of those things. But how do I also incorporate this new muscle that I've got, which is helping other people give birth to their new work? Yeah. And when the Odyssey gave me this opportunity, I went, oh, this is perfect. Now I'm not on a day-to-day basis. I'm not in as a co-artistic director. I'm really in a more of a free zone where I can be very inventive and create, and also keep room open for writing, acting, all the other things that, come my way. So I pray that they do come my way. But that's what excites me about it, is that I get to flex all my muscles. One of the great things about having all these professions at my disposal in the arts, producer, actor, writer, director, and teacher, is that they all basically segue into each other and feed each other. So that's what excites me. I hope that's a good answer to your question.
Perfect. We didn't mention, ladies and gentlemen, Tony's got 59 actor credits and other credits in other fields. As we say, we call it STD, something to do.
You bet.
My goodness.
My first year here, a friend of mine told me that he was going crazy because when he wasn't getting work, he felt like he was just, rolling around on his bed, wrapping himself in a wet sheet so that he could stay cool and not feverish. And I thought, no, that's not me. I'm going to make my own work if I don't get work. And that's what I've done. I've done both things. Yes. I've gotten work and I've made my own.
And you've done it well.
Thank you.
Tony, thank you for being here today, my friend. You did it again. Thanks for the information. And as I said to the previous guest, thanks to publicist Lucy Pollock.
Yeah, you bet. We owe a lot to her. Thanks so much, Ron.
My pleasure, Tony. Take care. That feeling is mutual. Thank you. Want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Brandman, Photography is an Art, Ron Irwin's Lose Life the Way You Lose Weight, Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. State Farm agent Carla Green and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actor Space. And much thanks to our guest today, Film Studies Professor Josh Kanin, actress, producer, writer Austin Highsmith Garces, and Tony Abatemarco. And of course, special thanks to our ever-growing audience. Be well. We'll see you next time. Take care.